morning, everyone. My name is Julia Maxton. Welcome to our final Safety Council meeting of this year. We have an excellent speaker, and I hope you enjoy. Don't forget, you have received information so that you can vote for your favorite speaker of this last year. So get that in the mail to us as soon as you can by next Wednesday. Well, talking about the upcoming year, which begins this July on the 14th, we're back in person, which is great news. I think most of you have been requesting that. We will be back at Miami Valley Hospital South, and most of the meetings will be in the same conference room that we used previously. You park in the back at Brain and Spine and come in the double doors, and then keep walking to your left, and we're down across from the big open garden atrium in the center of the hospital. A few times we will be moved to a conference room up front in the main hallway. So park in the front parking lot, come in the main doors, and just head to your right and you'll come to it very quickly. We have our speakers lined up for the coming year, and they are great. I think you'll really appreciate the time you spend. But the good news is from the state that the record-keeping requirements have been reduced, requiring less of your time with all those reports. The rebate is back, 2% of your premium that you pay to BWC, and everything else is basically the same. The speakers will talk on regulations, health and hygiene issues in the workplace, and the meetings will always be held on the second Thursday of each month. The meetings begin at 8:30 for the speaker, but we encourage you come 8 o'clock and enjoy a light breakfast and some networking. The meeting will begin at 8:30 and you will be done by 9:30. The state attendance requirement, if you remember, is 10 meetings per year, which can be attending annual safety congress, specific BWC training programs, or the quarterly education provided by Hunter Consulting. And remember that the Safety Council is only one of two authorized by the State Bureau of Workers' Compensation, ours and the one located in downtown Dayton. So we look forward to seeing you. If you pass on information recommending us as a Safety Council to other businesses, we would greatly appreciate it. And I might even have a special thank you for you. And also, please notice the big outdoor signage that once again we have from Key Advertising. It's located out by the Dayton Mall. So thank you very much for your support, and we will see you this July 14th in the Cancer Center building, Conference Room A. Park out in front and enter through the main door and go to your right. And don't forget to fill out your nomination form for the best speaker of last year. Have a great day.
Thank you, Julia. It was so nice seeing her face. I haven't got to see her in a while. So we're going to go ahead and move forward. I'd like to introduce Steve Roth from the BWC. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. As Julia said, this is our last virtual Safety Council meeting. I'm sure we're all looking forward to getting together again next month in person. I have a few BWC announcements. The school safety and security grant has been expanded to help cover the cost of improvements to heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems. Additional funding of $15,000 is available to any qualifying entity under the school safety and security grant to cover the cost of inspections, assessments, maintenance, and improvements to HVAC systems, and for the purchase of secondary devices to control the spread of airborne contaminants, including viruses. Please visit bwc.ohio.gov for more information on the School Safety and Security Grant HVAC. The first premium installment for the new policy year beginning July 1st is due June 21st. Employers can also earn a 2% early payment discount by paying your premiums in full by July 1st. It's a busy month for the Division of Safety and Hygiene and our distance learning opportunities. We have 3 webinars yet this month. Later this month on June 14th, we have What Do I Do When I Spill a Chemical? That's a 1-hour webinar starting at 11 a.m. And then we're going to end our webinars this month with safety training for new employees on June 28th at 11 a.m. And we also have a full slate of distance learning virtual training courses. These are the ones that are longer than 1 hour. These are 3 to maybe 6 hours, even longer on some of these. So We have our crisis de-escalation tactics and safe practices workshop on June 15th. This is going to be a 4-day class, electrical hazard recognition and abatement. This is a fantastic class on electrical safety. It's on June 16th and 17th. Then you got a weekend break, come back on June 20th and 21st. So that's electrical hazards recognition and abatement. On June 21st, we have our safety series workshop module 5, which covers electrical safety and lockout tagout basics. On June 22nd and 23rd, health hazards and toxicology fundamentals. On June 27th and 28th, scaffolding safety workshop. On June 28th and 29th, ergonomic basic principles. And I'm not done yet, we still got one more. Confined space assessment and work, June 29th and 30th. So those are the distance learning opportunities this month. If you're interested in enrolling, please visit the BWC Learning Center at bwclearningcenter.com. And for those in private employers or even public employers, if you're involved in the industry-specific safety program, a great way to earn those loss prevention activity credits by attending these classes. If you're a private employer involved in the industry-specific safety program, you must complete all of your loss prevention activities by the end of this month. You have to June 30th to get those done. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My information's in the chat. Happy to help you on anything. Joining us this morning is BWC Administrator Stephanie McCloud. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine appointed Stephanie McCloud Administrator CEO of the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation in January 2019. She's a veteran executive with a diverse background that includes over 20 years of experience in public administration and workers' compensation. She began her career as a staff attorney at BWC before serving as legal counsel to both former Governor George Voinovich and the Ohio Department of Transportation. She later joined the office of former Attorney General Jim Petro. Before coming to the DeWine administration, she served as Senior Vice President at Sedgwick Claims Management Services while managing her own private Columbus law firm. She is the former, I'm going to try to say this is like the biggest tongue twister of the whole intro here. Truro Township Trustee, an active community leader, having served on the Counselors, Social Workers, Marriage and Family Therapists Board and the board of the Mary Haven Behavioral Health and Addiction Treatment Center. In November of 2020, during the height of the pandemic, Administrator McCloud went on to become the director of the Ohio Department of Health. She continued as director for 10 months until her return to BWC as administrator in August of 2021. So please join me in welcoming BWC Administrator Stephanie McCloud.
Thank you so very much for that kind introduction. Thank you so much for having me here today. What an exciting time. We're glad to have the Safety Council program back on track. That's a wonderful thing. And outside of kind of speaking directly with our colleagues here at BWC, when I'm out and about in the field, I really enjoy taking time to stop and meet with our safety councils and hear what their concerns are and just give you a quick update. So that's what I want to do today. I'm going to go back a little bit. When Governor Mike DeWine was elected, he told his cabinet directors to listen to the needs of the customers and scrutinize our service offerings in every way to improve them. In his most recent State of the State, the governor said, every Ohioan deserves the chance to succeed, no matter their zip code, no matter if they live in Appalachia, in our cities, or in our suburbs, no matter who their parents are. They deserve the chance to get a good paying job, to raise a family comfortably, to be secure in their future, and to live their version of the American dream. At BWC, we believe every working Ohioan deserves the chance to go home to their families healthy and safe at the end of the day. Our work is focused on that. I know your work is as well, so thank you for that. Just some quick by the numbers for Ohio. As we talk about workforce, Ohio is already home to one of the top workforces in the nation. We're number 10 in the competitive labor market, number 3 in manufacturing workforce in the US, number 1 in plastic and rubber manufacturing, and number 4 in active apprentices in the US. Forbes magazine ranks Ohio second in its quality of life metric, thanks to low living costs, short commutes, and top-rated learning and recreational opportunities. We want to make sure that safe workplaces ensure that quality of life. Of course, Intel is the state's largest coup. 3,000 new high-tech Intel jobs, 7,000 construction jobs for the build out, and tens of thousands of indirect and support jobs. We are already talking with and planning for Intel's exciting arrival. This is, as I said, the largest coup in the state, and certainly the largest since Honda, which was decades ago. This will be, I believe, game-changing for the state of Ohio. What does all this mean? What do these numbers mean? Ohio is growing fast. BWC is going to be ready. Ohio has declining injuries, and we intend to maintain that trend even as Ohio grows. Our most recent data puts Ohio's injury rate at 2.4 injuries per 100 workers in the calendar year of 2020. That's compared to a national average of 2.9 injuries per 100 workers, and is also better than, so obviously better than the national average, but also better than all of our surrounding states. Let's go through some of the statistics of what BWC is doing. We're currently managing about 220,000 active claims. We allow an average of about 5,600 new claims per month in 2021. Numbers were lower due to pandemic-related slowdown in business activity. We are seeing just a slight uptick in that. Claims have continued to decline each year, thanks in large part to improvements in workplace safety. However, in calendar year 2021, there was a small increase, probably compared to 2020, due to the businesses returning to normal. And we're still seeing that. You may be seeing that out in your field. A lot of businesses are just now returning to the office. And then, of course, many of them in a hybrid schedule. But let's compare. First quarter 2021, we had about 19,000, a little over 19,000 claims filed. First quarter 2022, just over 21,000. That's an increase of about 9%. To illustrate, in 2021, we had about a total of 67,000 allowed claims. And this is, of course, when businesses began returning to normal. That's up from 2020, when we had 61,000 allowed claims. Of course, that was an anomaly year, because the year before that, in 2019, we had 81,000, almost 82,000 allowed claims. So 2021 at 67, still lower than 2019, still better. Again, we are starting to see a slight uptick as people return to their offices and workplaces, but still lower than 2019. That's exciting stuff. Let's talk about policies. We cover approximately 250,000 public and private employers. That's roughly half of Ohio's workforce. The remaining employers, around 1,100 that cover the remaining, are self-insured. We support our Ohio businesses with grants, free consultation, and other services to help prevent workplace injuries and save lives. These include, as you know, being invested in safety, virtual and on-site safety trainings, webinars, awareness materials, and safety program development, among many others. In 2021, we awarded 292 safety grants totaling $3.7 million. As you know, our BWC Safety Council program is back in person. Council rebate resumes in fiscal year 23, which begins in July, and employers need to enroll by July 31st. As was stated earlier, if you get a chance, encourage your fellow business owners and business managers to join a safety council. We love to grow these programs and hopefully and continue to get a handle on our safety, which continues our reduction in injuries. We have over 80 councils throughout the state and more than 8,000 employers who benefit from their membership. So 8,000 employers, take that back to what I said about the number of policies, which is about 250,000 policies. Now, a lot of those policies are what we call zero premium policies. They're domestic policies, policies that people take out kind of as a just in case, or they're a sole proprietor. But we can certainly grow from 8,000 having the opportunity, even if half of the policies were of the 250,000, 125,000 policies, we have a lot of room to grow, and we'll need your help with that. Exciting news. We recently announced our workforce safety innovation center. This is an initiative that arose out of Governor DeWine's challenge to make Ohio an innovative leader. When the world needed more N95 masks during the height of the pandemic, Ohio came through when Battelle created a way to safely clean the masks for reuse. We were a leader in the world. When there's a shortage, Ohio is very innovative, and Ohio takes the time to kind of lean into these situations. As a result of that, this initiative got started where we started thinking about what aren't we doing in the area of personal protective equipment. By PPE, I don't mean necessarily the connotative PPE when we think about hospitals and gowns and masks and nitrile gloves, things like that, but PPE for our workers in Ohio. What are some of the most common injuries? What are some risks? And how can we develop PPE for them that doesn't exist? It's not necessarily about expanding PPE we already have, although we may be able to take PPE and make it better. But we've talked to a lot of that specific example with Battelle. We also spoke to a lot of hospitals and medical facilities users of PPE, the type that Battelle was helping with, and talked to them about their costs. And of course, it was much, much less expensive to purchase some of that PPE from overseas. We have Ohio manufacturers who are trying to get started so that we didn't see that kind of shortage again, that we didn't need to rely on overseas supplies change so that we could reshore some of this. But the cost was kind of cost prohibitive for us to start up and then compete with overseas markets. One of the things we thought about here at BWC is, as we're looking at new PPE, we want to create it here. And then we want to, rather than just academically search it, we want to prototype it. We want to take it to market and hopefully have our Ohio manufacturers here in the state make that new PPE, whatever that is, or make that new improvement for current PPE. No competing with overseas markets if it doesn't exist. We will be the origination for it. So this is an exciting new program. What I like to say is, if the PPE exists, how can we make it better? If it doesn't exist, let's create it. The initiative offers $30 million in grants and research for this development of PPE innovations to enhance workplace safety. It's going to encourage relationships and collaboration among higher ed institutions, research organizations, and industries to continually create new ways to protect Ohio's workers. Eligible applicants must be from Ohio, a not-for-profit higher education institution, or a not-for-profit research organization. Exciting stuff. We announced last month that BWC will be giving out $1.5 million in grants and research grants for Ohio research teams. This is separate than the other program I just spoke about. We're doing these through our Ohio Occupational Safety and Health Research Program. The grants are awarded annually to fund research that maximizes impact on overall safety, health, productivity, and competitiveness of Ohio's workforce. Each grant provides approximately $300,000 to the research team over a 2-year period. The program's been in operation since 2017. Since its inception, BWC has funded 22 research projects and provided over $5 million in research grants to Ohio's universities. I want to take a moment and talk about Ohio's epidemic. And I know when people hear that epidemic, pandemic, the first thing they go to is, of course, COVID-19. This is Ohio's other pandemic, Ohio's other endemic, and that's the opioid and substance use disorder battle. And Governor DeWine stated the state, he said, quote, "The bottom line is this: Ohioans with untreated addiction and mental illness will remain unemployed and underemployed, and so much potential for people, for families, for the state will be lost if we look the other way. We can create the opportunity for people with mental illness or addiction to build the skills to lead joyful, meaningful lives. And if we do, it will result in reduced community cost, more people working and contributing to the vitality of their communities." Battling opioid and substance use crisis in Ohio is one of the governor's top priorities and something he cares very much about. At BWC, we've taken a number of measures to mitigate the impact on Ohio's labor force and business community and help meet the goals of Governor DeWine. I've shared some of them before, but I think they bear repeating. As you know, Recovery Ohio was the governor's initiative when he came into office. We are proud to participate in that multi-agency task force. The employer-focused goals of Recovery Ohio include supporting the development of a recovery-friendly workplace to promote and sustain health and wellness, provide incentives and risk management strategies to support employers and business owners in hiring employees recovering from a substance use disorder. On our end, we created the Substance Use Recovery and Workplace Safety Program. It's quite a mouthful. We call it the SIR program. This program supports recovery and our economy by paying for drug screens and special trainings for employers on how to work with employees in recovery. Some employers don't want to engage people in recovery. They're not sure what to do. They're not sure how to interact with them. They have concerns, and those are right. But everyone in recovery can benefit and will help in their recovery if they're able to have a full-time job, a meaning in their life, and a reason to get up every day and keep working toward that sobriety. So we will do pre-screen, for cause, whatever. We will reimburse for drug screens to help you feel more confident and comfortable hiring someone in recovery. And again, we're happy to provide that coaching and training about how do you manage someone in recovery? How do you work with someone in recovery? And how you help them be successful, which of course in turn helps your business or organization be successful. The program also gives employers free access to the BWC Employee Wellness Program, Better You, Better Ohio. This is an exciting wellness program that offers opportunities for smaller businesses and injured workers, and also access for that in those folks for those employers who are engaging in our substance use recovery workplace. This helps with screening. This helps with opportunity to get some information to the employee about how to live better and things that they need to focus on. We've been partnering with local alcohol, drug addiction, and mental health boards around the state to offer this program. Where that has not existed or they've been unable to take that on, especially due to the pandemic, we are administering that directly ourselves. That's how committed we are to the program. The uptake continues. We're really excited about this. When we started, we were in 3 counties. It was Ross, Montgomery, and Scioto. We are happy to announce we are in all 88 counties now and growing. This is a win-win. Workers in recovery get a job and employers fill vacancies with people who tend to be hardworking and loyal. They just need help. Talk a little bit about what we're doing in communications and outreach. We are trying to simplify and personalize all of our communications with the goal of providing a better experience for everyone who interacts with our agency. I am acutely and painfully aware that we are not as nimble and agile as I would like to be. That is one of our very important goals here at BWC. We internalize that, but that also, and we want to humanize. That is one of our core values, to humanize the agency in a very real way. I don't want our employers, I don't want our injured workers to feel like they are up against a nameless, faceless building. I want them to feel like and know that we see them, they can see us, and that we are in fact here to help. Figuring out how to simplify our communications to make them less wordy, I guess, for lack of a better term, to make them less wordy, to make them less confusing, and to simplify them so that an employer or an injured worker knows exactly what they need to be doing to work through whatever their issue is. Of course, we also are always looking for ways to improve our website. We had a whole project plan prior to COVID to upgrade our website. Everything got put on hold as the governor put clamps down on spending across the state in order to, rightfully so, he managed that very well to get us through without having the state running at a deficit, because he locked down our expenses and anything that wasn't on fire, he locked that down early. So we want to make the agency, the short version is we want to make the agency easier for everyone to do business with. We're also ramping up our communications outreach to engage more Ohioans. You can follow us, and please do follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. We also have a blog, but please feel free. You'll get a lot of information here about upcoming events. You can retweet some things or repost on Facebook to help share our message. We would appreciate that. I'm going to talk for a minute about the future of Ohio and the future of BWC. As you know, we just talked about Ohio is quickly becoming a destination for companies across the nation and is attracting high-tech manufacturing projects such as Intel and Amgen. What we need from our end, we want to become a data-driven agency. I will tell you, I was a little bit surprised, or not, having been in state government. You heard my resume. I've been in and out of state government my entire career. But we have so much information that I don't think we manage in the way that we could or should, so that we can make our decisions by using analytics and provide better management. We continue to invest in and upgrade our data collection and data warehouse efforts. If you speak at all with our Chief Information Officer, Jim McAndrews, he will tell you I ride on the IT department all the time. More. We are making efforts again to, we want to use this data to make efforts to gain a better understanding of risks that affect certain industries. And we're encouraging all injured workers to use, this is a kind of a separate issue, moving forward, to use direct deposit. This is the safest and most secure way to use benefits, again, data driven. So I want to just let you know something in case you have employees. We have about 3,200 injured workers who use the electronic benefit transfer cards, those EBT cards. We are changing the provider. Previous provider was Key Bank. They have stopped doing EBT cards, didn't leave us with any other options. So we're moving to US Bank. Please take note, if any of your injured workers are using an EBT card, make sure that they have all the information that they need to get that new card. We've been launched a full-scale campaign to reach out to them, to make sure that they do not miss any of their compensation. And again, encourage many of them, as they have done, sign up for that direct deposit, which avoids these kind of issues or any other issues with the EBT cards. Innovation and technology, things that we're doing in that area. We're creating a cross-functional innovation team to explore new products, services, processes, and business models. I want you all to know that not only are we looking at and continue to look at the current programs we have, the value of those, how can we streamline them, how can we make them easier, how can we personalize them, but then of course that innovation piece that the governor, if you know the governor at all, you know he is a man prone to action. And whatever it is that we talk about that we've done, and I can point to his response, and this is his response to every cabinet member, that's great. What are you doing next? What are we doing? What are we hearing? What do the citizens, the employers, the customers of Ohio need from us? That we are the only ones who can provide that. How do we make that better? So some of the innovation and technology, we're targeting functions that include robotic process automation, as I mentioned, enhanced website user experience, and new customer portals. We're also hoping to improve our core business system. We use Core Suite, and as you might imagine, being the largest state fund workers' comp system in the country, we are unique. There is no off-the-shelf product that we can go and from Microsoft or somewhere else and say, hey, we're going to buy this suite of products and that's going to improve our core business system. It doesn't exist that way. We are constantly building and improving and building and improving and trying to, of course, all of that requires maintenance. When you have special build, you now have special people who need to maintain that, but we continue to move forward in that area. We also want to update our digital storage and imaging system, provide new paperless options for employers. Electronic signature is a big one on my list. I think we have got to move forward to that point. Some of the things that we do, especially for our providers, where they have to print things out, sign them, then scan them back in or fax them back. We've got to cut that down, and we continue to focus on those. And all of that I've talked about before. Of course, the aim is to increase the capabilities of the agency to provide excellent quality, cost-effective, and timely services to our customers, those that are already in Ohio and those that we look forward to coming. We talked about Intel, we've talked about Amgen, but what we know is there's sometimes a domino effect to those, where those large businesses bring other businesses. It makes every large employer in the country, and maybe even out of the country, who is looking to move, say, why did Intel pick Ohio? What have they got? And now we're getting a second and third look, where previously we may not have gotten a first look. So this is an exciting, exciting time. I look forward to our growing state of employers and our growing economy. But for me here at BWC, I'm focused on every one of those employees, making sure they get home safely. Thank you for your time today. I know I talked fast, so if there was anything that you didn't catch or you want me to elaborate on, I'm happy to do that.
I thank you for your time and hearing your perspective on the programs I'm aware of, and then to see a little bit more behind the scenes is awesome. So I thank you again for your time today. And I look forward to seeing everyone next month on July 14th, if there's no additional questions.
Well, certainly if you do, don't hesitate to reach out, certainly through our safety and hygiene department or anything else you need, but we are here to help you and very much appreciate the work that all of you are doing. It's important. It's not just lip service. It's something we have to live day in and day out to make it successful. So thank you so much for having me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.